Well, speaking of getting cracked, welcome back to No Loads Refused, your absolute favorite fucking laundromat you could ever go to. I'm Dumpster, he's Cum, and today we're talking about Lord of the Rings.
Prom night dumpster baby. I'm just I forget. That was a great Family Guy bit.
It's a
That,
classic
that
one.
remains in infamy.
Go ahead.
But I'm busted,
I'm Shovel.
and he's a shovel.
That's me.
He's not a shovel, but he's the shovel.
I'm Shovel. And that's Dog,
Dog.
who's
Welcome, Dog.
having separation anxiety moment right now.
But you're right there with him.
Mm-hmm. But he can't see me. He keeps looking at the pole. He thinks that's
No,
me.
no. Yeah, but no. We started the endeavor of listening to the Lord of the Rings audiobooks because, why read anymore when the words can be told to you?
Well, I think we could also give them, some insight into the fact that you are a giant Lord of the Rings fan. Massive.
Yeah, but see, I technically...
And I'm relatively newer to it, even though I've watched the movies, all three of them through once.
Well, is
Same
it the
with the
second
Hobbits.
time now?
So this is the second time.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've binged the movies up to the point that most normal people would never watch their favorite movie this many times in their lives. And I've done it with 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so... Running through the audiobook, like I said, I think I have 3 hours left in The Two Towers. And then I have to do Return of the King. It's twofold. I'm not a great reader. That's not my strong suit. I've also read those books once each.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it also comes from just some lore videos you get here and there, or you stop on a TikTok.
But you're a lot more ingratiated, I think, in the concept as a whole of Middle Earth and all that stuff than I am. Even after going through the audiobooks too, I have an hour left in Return of the King.
I mean, it's a lot of information.
It's a lot.
A lot gets dropped on you, and it's trying to remember most of the names that happen is just impossible.
I can say, after doing these 3, I already have The Hobbit ready to go, because that's going to be the next one. I'm just going to tackle it right away too.
Yeah.
But I want to specifically go back and listen to Two Towers, because that was my favorite book.
Oh, it's a great time. It really is a great time.
I love the Two Towers, but anyway, that's not what today's episode
That's not our topic today. Today's topic...
We're going book by book and movie by movie, because he's the movie guy. Like you said, he's watched them a million times.
Too many times.
We just want to kind of talk about it, because it's something we both really enjoy. So, and it's something, again, I'm pretty new to in terms of the source material.
Bring back War in the North. Put it on Steam.
Awesome video game.
Steam. Put it on Steam. You heard me, Steam. I'm looking at you, Steam. That'd be so good. We pick up a third for that game. Oh, are you
It'd be
kidding
ridiculous.
me?
Oh my god.
That'd be so much fun.
I'd have 800 hours in that game. Be
Yeah.
disgusting.
But
playing
yeah,
this game,
so we're just gonna kind of dive on into the first book. Shout out Andy Serkis for narrating these things like it's fucking. If you're
That
against,
was the allure for me.
yeah, if
That's what
you're
made me wanna do it.
Andy Serkis crushed this. Obviously, for ball knowers, Andy Serkis is the voice of Smeagol / Gollum. But he's also a grade A voice actor, and he basically just does all the voices for everyone in the book. So every time there's someone new talking, he's always using a different voice. And he gets really into it. So it almost feels like a movie again. If you close your eyes and you just listen to the words flow off his tongue, it just feels very movie-esque the way he presents it.
It's incredibly theatrical. Obviously the way it's written is so amazing.
Correct.
And it's so good at creating the imagery for you. It's like when you go to Costco and bring your stuff to the register and they scan the stuff for you. You don't have to do anything. That's what reading that book is like.
Yeah.
Everything is just so beautifully written, and honestly, going into it, I personally thought it was going to be a lot more complex in terms of the actual storytelling, with the actual vernacular in the book, and it's really not. I mean, there's definitely some interesting choices for words given the time, but it's very straightforward in that regard.
Correct.
The books read incredibly well.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody can pick them up and read them. Now, you'll probably get lost a little bit just because there are so many characters. There's a lot of subplot stuff going on, but they are really really amazing. And I think Fellowship just is so fun because it feels like the most fun experience out of the three books. Like it feels the most like a movie to me, and I think that's why, at least for me, Fellowship, the movie itself, was kind of the best movie out of the three.
Well, you do. That one had, movie wise, I think it had like, in reality, the least amount of action and the most amount of like story building.
Yes, it was like world building, kind of showing what Middle Earth is. Like, I mean, just the Shire in its totality, what it is. Like, kind of really building up these characters, all the hobbits. I mean, obviously the Fellowship in its entirety,
Yeah.
kind of learning about everybody. But it's just fun. You're just kind of reading into it, and then the next two are just batshit. And then it's just awesome. And it's just testosterone and fun.
Such a good time. All of them are a great time.
Yeah.
But in reality, yeah, this is just a compare and contrast, kind of share our thoughts and feelings as if we're like really good writers and stuff, because that's what we do for a living. We're just great writers.
Yep.
So we're gonna judge people. Obviously, that's what we do. We have mics. You don't listen to us.
Sorry about it.
But I mean, the reality of it. So, what you had the prologue in the book that kind of summarizes a whole lot of stuff. That's a big data dump right off rip.
Oh, yeah.
And you're kind of just confused.
It's kind of like a skill check in Dark Souls where, like, they throw the first boss at you, and you're just
you
like,
gotta beat it.
oh, my God, what's going on? And most people end up putting it down, and I get it.
Now,
But-
I will say, movie-wise, they definitely did that.
Oh, they did it so well.
Yeah, they
Oh
made
my
it
God.
really simple, too. And then I love the transition after they do that beginning scene where they do, like, the mini battle, and then the ring gets cut off, and then Isildur gets shot in the back with arrows, and then he floats down the river. Just right into Bilbo, just in his, like, peaceful little life.
Yep.
And he's just like, concerning hobbits.
And, like, the most wonderful place ever.
I know.
Yeah.
And you have the music. Music's just beautiful. The boom, bum, 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 bum. It's like a little two-step. It's just wonderful.
The scoring across the board is
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
incredible.
Howard Shore.
That man
It's
cooks.
just, it's the beach,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it does start off kind of like viscous in a way with that in the audiobook, because if you don't really know what to expect and to just be like, hey, here's a bunch of information and not storytelling, it's a lot. Because you're like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
listening to a history book right now. But
But
that's
it's very, the way it's written, it almost feels like it
it-
sometimes.
legitimately, yeah. And that's cool, but I think it's done just enough where like you get through that, and then the actual like you could feel the story.
Well, yeah,
starting.
it's just-
and you're
it's-
just like,
It's stuff
Oh,
you
this is
kind of
cool.
need to quasi know. You don't really need to have the whole prologue memorized. You just need to know a little bit about it.
yeah, just some
To be
background.
like, okay, we're here. We did it. We got there. Especially because The Hobbit's the precursor to The Lord of the Rings, and I think the prologue kind of pulls a little bit of information from that, too. If I remember correctly, which I probably don't, but it's just kind of like trying to set the mood. I will say granted, the movie had such a short amount of time to make all this happen.
See, that's the big thing, and that stuck out to me. Obviously, now that I've heard 99% of it, again, the last hour I have left in Return of the King, but like the amount of cramming they had to do and the amount of cutting they had to do, like
It's
I
crazy.
Get it.
I get it. It's just crazy.
But because
some of it
there
could be
are
so-
things that I really wish
Dude,
were.
it would have been
in.
so cool. Some of the stuff, like imagine just having the first movie, just them trying to get out of the Shire.
I know.
That would literally be
You could make 2 movies out of leaving the Shire. It's ridiculous. But that's kind of what makes it awesome, you know? It's the fact that they found a way. And it's obviously cutting out Tom Bombadil and all that stuff and those kind of...
But and you know
miscellaneous
what?
adventures.
I think mainly because you'd have to make that interaction so short, even if you did put them in.
Right.
So everyone would just be confused.
Well, and that's why they're making an entire movie basically just out of that.
because
the
that
new
is just
Because you can.
yeah.
Because there's a lot that happens. Even though you can totally see how they do cut out that whole part, because in a weird way, it's kind of a nothing burger outside of being like, oh, you guys should go to the
Well,
Prancing Pony. and
Yeah,
Bray.
but it is, but it isn't because, the first thing is all the hobbits outside of Frodo when he got Sting, all their swords are from him,
Yes.
and they're special swords
Oh, yeah.
that do special things, and it's kind of important later on in another book
Sure.
why it's he has this special weapon and uses it to fight someone pretty powerful, and it's like, oh, well, how did his stupid sword hurt him? It's like, because it's not supposed to be a stupid sword.
Yeah.
It's actually a really special sword. Well, technically a dagger, because they're tiny, it's a
Yeah.
sword.
Yes.
But no, I did love the whole ambiance of the Shire. It really, it did, and I'm trying to figure out exactly why they did this. Because Merry and Pippin aren't as, like, rambunctious as the movie makes them out.
Oh, they like gas up, like, it's not just them. I think, and it's not a problem I have with the movie so much, but I felt like it was too much, at least for me, was Gimli in the movies is like only quips. Like, there was no, like, I wanted a moment to feel like him actually feeling the fear, and we'll get to that in a later book. But, like, there are moments where he has real emotions and conveys them in the story.
I know.
They just have joked with him so much as a character.
I know.
It's almost like Scooby-Doo scared with, like, the teeth chattering kind of sound instead of it being like, oh my God, like, I'm in a familiar-ish type place. I should not feel this way.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really interesting point of anxiety and horror for the character. But in the movies, it was just kind of like, oh, he's being silly. Look, there's Scooby going crazy, which is
Yeah.
fine. I
No,
get
it's
it.
just-
But that helps make it more theatrical. It's more engaging, I think,
and-
to the person who doesn't read the books, like me when I first watched it. Because I didn't think that the first time I watched the movies through. I was like, oh, he's just funny.
Well, yeah, and they also made him a heck of a lot more elf hating in
yeah.
the movies. Like it's like
awesome.
in like the third one, he finally comes around to it. It's like, oh, yeah, I guess you're kind of cool, but he like fucking rolls over pretty much, very much in the beginning stages of the book.
Yeah.
Or he's just like, it's not even that he rolls over. It's just like he isn't even that remotely hateful about it in
Right.
general.
Yeah.
Like there's the elves and the dwarves have animosity, but it's not like at all as like bad as it seems. The movies make it out too.
Sure.
But I did like they pretty much. Although yes, the original party that they had was supposed to be like Frodo's birthday and Bilbo's birthday because they're the same day.
Yes.
I thought, regardless of that fact, they kind of nailed it because it.
That whole scene with the fireworks and everything is amazing.
Yeah.
It was
But again,
cool.
that goes back to Merry and Pippin being like more rambunctious than they are,
Right.
Because they didn't actually set off the firework,
Yes.
but in the movie they do. But I think that's a whole thing that they had to change them to really push them out of the Shire quickly.
Yeah.
Because
I
they were
agree.
part of that slower process, like heavily.
And I think it's also just kind of it's character building, but it's also foreshadowing for what's to come. And that's what I think out of the very few books that I've listened to or read, Lord of the Rings specifically, it does such a good job of telling you what's going to happen before it does, like pretty plainly.
Yeah.
Like the foreshadowing is so incredibly on the nose for like an event that's going to happen. Not even like big stuff, but like impending doom or something like that with a character or something is going to happen, and it'll happen like 3 pages before, and it'll just be a little thing, and then all of a sudden, boom, it happens, and you're like, oh, he told me that was going to happen, and it did. And I thought that was very interesting, and I think they actually did that in the movies as well in that same regard with Merry and Pippin, being like them doing that, and as the story progresses, them constantly just getting into shit.
Yeah.
Like there was just a theme set, I think.
Oh no, without a doubt. No, they did it well. They really did. I
have
love
a
those characters are just stupid fun.
Exactly, yeah. But I wanted to add on to like that, because not that this is a huge plot point, but I did think it was interesting, and it was probably just to move the movie along as well. Them being like, "Oh, we got to go now." Like this trip is happening now. Whereas in the book, what was it?
Like
He waited until he was
17
50,
years?
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
17
so-
years. So Frodo was like 50, and I think Merry and Pippin were younger.
Merry and Pippin
They were like kind of substantially younger, like a couple decades. No,
no, because I think
not that it really matters too much. Like that's not a huge plot point, but I thought that was interesting
no.
that was cut out because that could have been a line of dialogue, basically.
Yeah, it could have. But I think at that point it would have confused the audience more, and it
Maybe.
would have confused them even further because the casting of Elijah Wood making him look super young,
Right.
and then be like, "Oh, I'm Frodo Baggins. I'm 50 years old," and everyone's like, "Uh huh," and they go, "Oh, well,
I guess because
I'm Mary, and I'm 30," and they're like, "No, this is terrible casting." Meanwhile, hey, there's a reason why he looks so young.
yes, because we saw that with Bilbo, and they did a good job
correct.
of the two other times we saw Bilbo in the rest of the movies. He was substantially aging,
Correct.
and that was, I guess, that's kind of the idea of them being like, hey, here's that thing for people to understand. Because even I think in the first movie, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't Gandalf literally make a comment when he first sees
when
him?
he first knocks on the door, it's like, "No, thank you. We don't want any more visitors. Well, wishes all distant relations." And he goes, "What about very old friends?" I need to stop quoting him. But he comes in, it's like, and he looks, and he just mumbles under his breath. He's like, 111 years old. You haven't aged a day.
Yeah.
So yeah, they do that. That's how they kind of foreshadow that, or just kind of like show that, like, oh, if you have the ring, you're just not aging. It's just kind of, it doesn't stop it per se, because once you lose it, you kind of deteriorate fairly quickly. At least in the movie perspective. In the book, I don't think they had Bilbo like aging that rapidly. He got older, but he didn't like.
He wasn't decrepit.
No, yeah, because at that point, if he was 111 and aged to that age by the time Frodo got to him, then Bilbo would just be like you saw him in Return of the King, just like,
Yeah.
just existing.
Do you still have that ring?
Yeah. So, obviously, like, definitely slows it down for sure, even when you lose it. Because at that point, what Smeagol's said it has allegedly had it for like 500 years.
Yeah.
And he hasn't had it for however long at this point. At least the 50 Bilbo. Well, because wait, how old was Bilbo? Bilbo was 50 on his journey, I believe.
Okay.
So that's been like almost 60 years, plus another 17. Add some other years in there. So we're looking at what? Almost 80 plus years that he hasn't had the ring and he's still alive?
Yeah.
So I mean, at that point, he's probably just immortal because he held it for so long. But like at that point, I don't know. So we were still causing this right. They did the party great. I love that they pulled the exact line that I can never quote. The "I don't know you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve." That's just a hilarious line.
Oh,
and
dude,
then the whole
yeah.
like cheering when he yells out all the like the hobbits' last names and like their families, and they're like everyone's just cheering shit. It sounds like a great time. I would love to be there.
Oh, absolutely.
But I mean, after that, yeah, the transition, because you just essentially cut to what Frodo gets the ring, Gandalf just runs off.
Yep.
It cuts to him going to the White City to go get information, and then like all of a sudden he's back. It makes it seem very quick in the movie, but again, it's like at that point in time, to make time pass, you would have to show him in the Shire, and that's you're having to show like another hour of movie to make
Right.
that happen.
So correct me if I'm wrong, because this is one of the major things that when I watched Fellowship again, I couldn't remember if it was in the book at this point, or if it was just described later at the Council of Elrond, or Elrond's Council, whatever it was called, when he goes to get counsel from Sauron right away in the movie. Because he gets dropped off.
No,
Because that's not in the book
No,
right
so
away.
he does-
We learn about that later, about him escaping.
So in the
Which, that I thought, because unless I'm wrong, I
Well,
was like, that is a very
well-
cool change in the movie that they actually just kind of followed that line to not have it be like him at the council later and being like, "Oh yeah, I was imprisoned, but now I'm not, and I came back." You know?
Yeah, so I remember what as soon as Gandalf sets it off, picks up Sam, um, and Gandalf goes, "I have to go talk to my boy, because he knows what's up."
Yeah.
They do that. Technically yes, that did happen in the book. They just don't talk about it nearly as much. I remember he talks about, I forget the eagle's name that comes to save.
Yes.
What's his name? Saves him, and this is where Gandalf then ends up in Rohan, gets Shadowfax, steals him actually, and then rides him all the way to Rivendell. So that does happen. They really don't go over the nitty gritty details.
Okay, so then I'm like kind of right because I was like, I don't remember it being in this much detail, like what happened.
No, it isn't.
It's not like the.
Well,
I have to
actually-
make a comment.
No, I think it is. No, because he talks about Gandalf's walking around and it's like Saruman's robes used to be white, but he's like, now they look all like rainbowed.
Yeah.
And like all these colors. And he's like, what are you doing? What are you, a Skittle? And he's like, no, I'm an M&M. Blah.
Yeah. I gotta say, and this is just me being weird. The movies have aged really poorly in some aspects, and
What?
very well in others.
What?
But like, oh man,
Choose your words
the
carefully.
2000s effects in those movies, bro. We got to get rid of any slow mo in those movies, man. Oh, good God, are they fucking rough? I was dying laughing anytime the slow mo came on.
I don't
'Cause
even remember a lot of. I remember
It's a lot in the third movie.
Yeah, that's where all the fighting happens.
Because, dude, it just turns into a slideshow, and it's really funny. It's slideshow with motion blur on Max.
You
It's
just don't
really
respect it.
funny. That cracked me up. But I thought the actual, like, enemies, like,
Oh, they went nuts.
everything was, like, the Nazgul were, like, amazing. Like, all that stuff was
Like,
incredible to
You
look
know
at.
that scene in the first one where they have the crows flying through Isengard?
Yes.
That was a miniature they actually made and had a camera fly through it.
I'm not kidding. I was sitting there with Kate. I don't think it was that exact scene. I was like, this looks like they just built a mini version of this.
They did.
Because
They
that's
did, they did
the
a lot
smart
of
way
that
to
to
do it.
like.
Oh, you
they
know,
went
it was,
nuts.
I think it was
They-
Rivendell actually, where that's what I thought they might have done
Oh, I
it in the
don't-
first opening shots of everything in like the valley of.
I'm not as nerdy, but I do believe they built like miniatures of pretty much fucking everything.
Yeah, because that would make
They-
sense as to why it looked
they
so
went
amazing.
nuts.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm gonna butcher the guy's name that actually plays Gavin. John Rhys Davis.
Sure.
He's the tallest actor on that team.
Really?
Yep. And they made him a dwarf,
That's.
but he's the
awesome.
tallest guy. So
That's really
that's
funny.
they crushed it with camera angles and like stand-ins.
Oh, dude, yeah. Every like cinematic shot in that is like the best you've ever seen in your life.
I know, just so much fun.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of the good shit holds up crazy. They just have moments where it's just like, what can you do?
God
It was-
forbid they slow down a movie, right?
It was 2001, man.
Oh.
But I just thought that was funny. It's fun to go back and watch movies like that now and literally 25 years later because it's just crazy to see how different it is. And I remember I looked up the budget. It might have been for Fellowship or one of the others. It was like $96 million at that time too. I was like,
Damn.
could you imagine if they had the budget of like Endgame, where that was probably
Yeah,
closer
but
to
then
like
it'd be
$1
turned
billion?
into CGI slop that everything else turns into.
But what if they built even more miniatures with that money?
What if
They don't
just,
need
What
it.
if they just built Middle Earth?
They could have at that time.
Yeah,
But
with that much money? Are you
It
kidding
really,
me?
it really is beautiful. Like the movies hold up. They're incredible to look at. The visuals are awesome, but they do have some like funny things. But that makes me appreciate them that much more. It makes
Yeah.
me want to go back. That's another thing for me to be like, oh, I'd love to go watch those again, because that's a big thing for me. I think these actually do have a very high replayability to them. Of course, we're talking about the extended editions. The other editions
Of
don't
course.
exist.
Who would watch
Who in
something
the right
less?
mind?
And who would suggest that to someone?
A moron.
Oh, yes. The morest of morons.
Um,
Unbelievable.
but anyway,
Um,
sorry for that tangent.
Oh, no, that's fine. I will say, I think they made the Nazgul in the first book seem a lot more, like, not dangerous, but like very present on the like the stages where they were leaving. How it was always breaking to them, like interrogating people.
Yeah.
And it's like when they were about to leave, one of them talks to the old gaffer, and he's like, "Where are the baggins?" He's like, "Oh, well, that guy left already.
Yeah.
You gotta go down that way." I mean, he thought that they did, so that's where he told him. So he runs off, and then it's like, oh, they run into Farmer Maggot, and he's like, "Yeah, some weird fellow was here, and he was trying to find you guys. What kind of look of trouble are you into?" And then it's like, all right, they're like everywhere. They're here. The presence of them was so much more like there.
So I'm gonna tackle this now because I think it's a good time to bring it up. Because talking about the things that, like, the one thing we could have changed, right? If we're gonna talk about this whole leaving the Shire, and like you have characters like the Farmer Maggot, that was his name, and the innkeeper. In the books, I loved them. I loved the arc, the mini arc of story that we got from. Totally gone. That was like the biggest pet peeve I had. Where like when all that got skipped, I was actually a little upset. I was mad. Because I didn't remember that. I didn't know that was supposed to be a thing. Those characters are some of my favorites, honestly, out of all the books. They're not my favorite. I love the story of Frodo getting in trouble, stealing mushrooms.
He's like, I don't want to talk to him.
Yeah, and like I thought that was such a cool thing, like, and that would have been cool to like even just touch upon, and then them having like the meal with them or whatever, or getting invited for the meal, and then maybe them turning it down or whatever. But then the innkeeper just being like an innkeeper when he was gracious to him, and he gave Frodo the note from Gandalf.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I was supposed to send this out to you, but no one wanted to do it."
Like that was a huge
Gandalf's
huge
gonna
deal.
turn me into a toad now.
I know. It's like, dude, how do we not have that in this?
Because
that
It
part
was-
at that point they were just like, oh fuck, we got to go.
Well, yeah, that's why I think you had the switch up to Merry and Pippin being their more like a rambunctious kind of troublemaker, because you had them playing their roles. You would have had to do that because the entrance of Merry on the way out would have been sick.
Oh yeah,
Because you would have been like, "Oh my God, it's one of the Black Riders," and it's like, no, it's just Merry.
yep,
Oi, what are you doing?
like golden opportunity.
Yeah, but they just had
they
had to just push it.
But that was if we're gonna talk about that individually for these movies, that would be my pick for Fellowship.
I would
really,
say mine's very much later on.
Yeah.
If I was to do anything. But then after that, you just have the whole cutout of Tom Bombadil in the Barrows, which, oh my God, Hugh Jackman could have had the best role of his life.
And he will. In due time.
Crazy.
I'm gonna make a phone call.
Yeah.
Tom Bombadil up on the hill.
Yeah. So, what a fun character.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome, dude. I'm really excited for the whenever the.
Well, you know
2027?
what? We talked about it with each other. It was like the amount of singing that's involved, and then it's just like it's seldomly done, if at all, in the movies.
But I think in the movies, what they did do, upon watching them again, they seldomly used the singing, but when they did, it was always in a very emotional way.
Correct.
Like, if we're thinking about the one that stands out to me more than any is in Return of the King,
Oh, of course.
which we'll get to because you know exactly what I'm talking about. Fucking cinema, dude. But stop, I'll start crying. But it was very sparse. I would have loved to have more of it in there.
It's fun.
But
it is fun.
I get
the
it.
Hobbit movies have more of it. And
I know.
it is
I will
it is
have
very
to watch
fun.
those again after I read the book. Listen to the book.
But yeah, the whole cutting out. I mean, I think at that point they just had to because introducing Tom Bombadil, a character no one really is ever going to meet again.
Yeah.
Is all right. Like, why are we doing this? And then you missed Goldberry, right? That was her name. Goldberry. I'm gonna go with
I think
Goldberry.
it was gold. Yeah.
Um,
I was gonna say Giggleberry. I was like, that's not right. I like this Goldberry.
No, and I think this is where they started doing Frodo like the big disservice to his character.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they are in the Barrows and they get captured, and Frodo's just like kind of wakes up, and he's like the only one that can move, and all his friends are passed out, and he's like, I've got to do something. So he grabs a fucking like broken sword to try to fight, and then it's just like that fails. He was like, oh, the Tom Bombadil song, I have to sing it.
Yep.
And then he sings it.
I
and it's
love
like,
that so much.
but like,
dude.
see, that's what turns into just like the whole like. So Frodo's like this little bitch, you know. That's kind of like where they started doing the disservice, because it's like, that shit was showing as like one of his first like big moments of courage.
Yeah, and through the
outside
books,
of like
he demonstrated a lot of it.
he's also a 50-year-old, so he's like, he's not stupid. He's very tactful about how he likes to do things. Most of everything about leaving the Shire was very much legitimately planned.
Yeah,
like this wasn't a spur of the moment thing that they did. This was a whole ass plan that they had, and like, oh, we're gonna tell people I'm going here. I actually bought a place here.
Well, so that's more so what I was asking prior, kind of like all-encompassing that, being like, was it bad that they didn't, like, have the period of waiting? I don't think in the end it really makes that much of a difference.
I don't think it would put it.
But I think
that level of story doesn't push the movies along at all.
That's why we needed a fourth, maybe a fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth movie. Want to make a 9
Harry
at that
Potter
point.
has like fucking 8 or 9 of them. Why couldn't we get 8 or 9?
And none of them are nearly as good.
No.
It's crazy.
They got the one meme. Harry Potter, the boy who lives now, come to die.
Yeah.
Abracadabra.
Which, I mean, Kate was telling me too that, what's her name? J.K. Rowling?
Yeah.
That wrote Harry Potter? It's basically just a ripoff of Lord of the Rings. Like, a lot of it comes from that. Which, that's not a problem.
I assume
like, a lot of
at the end of the
inspiration.
day, a lot of the
Fantasy in its
It's
totality.
like-
I've
because-
been calling Lord of the Rings the Bible of fantasy for a long
and
time.
it's two things. It's like, I don't even know what was before Tolkien's work, but like at some point, you may not be like actually copying the person, but it's like it's hard to not almost include themes of some similar sort, especially when you're
Sure.
talking about like chosen one kind of deal, kind of
Yeah,
bullshit. Because Frodo's not a chosen one. This is like, he's actually far more. I wouldn't call him like the unwilling protagonist, but he's not. He's like gun ho in the way that like, I have to do this because this was given to me.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't, he would not have been volunteering for it.
Well, I think it's actually a really complex, and it's part of what makes the story so good. It's very complex in the way that his journey for the ring isn't just for the reason of like saving everybody. I think he feels like he owes a debt to Bilbo. I really do.
A little bit for sure. Because it always talked about he did crave the adventure, and he's got a little more dicey than he really wanted. But as the story goes on, it's more like he just he ended up saying he was gonna do it, and it's just like I think especially after he watches Gandalf fall, he's like, I got to do this.
Yeah.
This is my shit. I have to do this.
And we'll get to that because that's awesome. But
Yeah.
I do want to keep this moving along.
Oh, what? You're trying to rush?
You want to listen to Rush again? Is that what you're saying?
No. Because now, at this point, if we passed over Bombadil, the Barrows, we're in Bree.
Yeah. And I want to say the books do such a good job of giving me chills and getting fucking hype. And I will say, even more than the movies, but rewatching the movies and anticipating the moments, it does make you all giddy. Like, the revealing of Strider in the book specifically I think it was generationally written.
It was
Like,
electric.
it was so awesome. I felt like I was watching the Giants score a game-winning touchdown listening to that. I was losing my mind. Because you know who it is, but you're just like, yeah, fuck yeah. It's like, that was like the first hit I felt like of testosterone in the books a little bit, where it gets the blood pumping, you know? And, oh man, it was so awesome. And obviously in the movie it's great too.
Oh, yeah.
But they obviously just, like I talked about a little bit already with the Innkeeper, like they skip around, like,
yeah, because
him
Frodo's
just
supposed to do like a
throwing
singing.
Frodo into the room right
Yeah,
away.
Frodo's supposed to do like a whole sing song, and the ring falls on him. But
I would have
instead of,
loved
like,
that to be in there too.
that would have
instead
been
of-
really fun.
Yeah.
Instead of doing like, oh, I know a Baggins, Frodo Baggins.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no.
Yeah.
But
Kind of.
again, you got to make
the
Frodo
bitch
seem
thing
like this
again.
little bitch, you know?
They did, and I think if that was like the critique you were to make to the overall question of what you would change about the narrative, I'd understand it. But I think there's kind of and maybe it's Stockholm syndrome a little bit, being like, oh, you know what? It makes the movies different, and that's kind of cool in their own way. But man, I would have loved for some specific moments for Frodo to just be who he was in the books.
He was a badass.
But I hear you. No, he was.
a
Dude. He's so
badass.
quick-witted. He wasn't like some champion of everybody, but he just, I don't want to say always made the right decision. It's just I think he thought about every decision.
Correct.
And in the movies, he doesn't think as much as he just reacts.
And it's usually in a whiny way.
Yeah,
It's very whiny.
it is.
I don't like it. But this is also, we get to meet Aragorn.
Yeah.
And this is also major character change. When I kind of dislike because it pulls away, because it completely like 180 his mentality.
Yes.
Or is that 360? No, 360.
360 would just be coming back
Yeah,
around.
so
Your
180.
180 is correct.
180 is his mentality. So in the movie, he like doesn't tell you at all who he is. He's like, I'm a ranger. I do this. I'm a secret Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
But then in the book, because Aragorn knew Gandalf like very well.
Yeah.
He's like, Aragorn kind of knows what's already fucking up, so he's just like low key just trying to convince Frodo to be like, hey, I'm just here to help you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
And lucky enough, they bond over like this old tale Bilbo told him, like, oh, the once the blade this is broken shall be blah blah blah, and it's like, oh yeah, you know, Aragorn is this guy who doesn't want to be king. He's like, my blood is weak, blah blah blah. In the books, he's like, dude, I'm carrying the sword right now.
Yeah.
I literally have it.
Dude, he's just absolutely. He's like, my cock is huge, bro.
He's like,
I'm not going to show you, but it's
am
huge.
the king of Gondor.
Yeah.
I just haven't taken my throne yet.
Yeah,
I'm
he's just
working
money.
on it.
He's
I'm
just money.
I'm just working on it. So it's just one of those things. Like that was, I think they did it purely in the way that for an audience, people much prefer seeing someone go like have the power, but be kind of like hesitant with it.
Mm-hmm.
If they saw him be like, yeah, I'm the king. Like this is the sword. You see, it's broken.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the king. And they'd be like, this guy's a fucking cock.
Yeah.
Don't listen to him.
He's got a small penis.
Yeah. Yeah, even though it's just huge. So a little disservice there, but again, they made it.
You
They
can
did it very
understand why,
well.
though, they did it.
Yeah.
Because in terms of narrative building quickly, I think it's a lot
Yes.
easier to accept that reality than it is the other way.
Correct. And that because he has some. It's not hesitancy throughout the book, but he has some parts where he does get hesitant about it. But almost all his actions are, like, always, when they're explained, it's always like, oh my god, Aragorn, he looks so kingly right now with what he's doing. It's like, oh
Like,
my god.
He commands them with his voice so kingly.
And you're
And
just,
you're just like, yeah.
yeah, he's just like, yeah, this guy's the king.
Stand down. It's like, all right, man.
He just fucks.
Well, I will say, too, I think the motivation for him to be king overall in the book versus the movie feels a lot different in terms of, like, I don't want to say pacing, but, like, it's a lot more urgent feeling in the book to me because of Arwen. Because Elrond is like, listen, you got to marry King Gondor. Or whatever the fuck.
You're not wearing nobody. I don't care that he has the sword. What's he doing with it?
I don't think that's not even really talked about in the movies, right? It's kind
in
of,
the
Elrond's just kind of like.
In the movies,
whatever,
Elrond's just like, we need to get my daughter away from here.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's his vibe.
So there was never like a true urgency set to the
No.
time until later on, which
well, and then at that
Makes
point
sense.
too, I think at the end of the day, Aragorn himself wasn't even rushed about it. Although he was like to be king, at some point his bloodline just took up the responsibilities. Like, one of us in this line will become king. It's just going to be when the time is right.
Mhm.
And they all very much held to that code. and then they carried their heirloom in their little satchelness.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like it just felt real that way, you know?
Yeah.
It felt powerful. But he's
did.
like, I don't want this. Get it away. I'm just as weak as my ancestors who were badasses. No.
I'm so handsome and wonderful, but don't look at me.
See, that's my big takeaways from Big. I mean, I know they had, like, the little, like, they made the deal with the, whatchamacallit, the innkeeper, because I guess their horses, like, went missing.
Yes.
And then it's like, oh, well, here, take fucking...
Well, it is important, a little bit, because, I mean, we could jump ahead a tiny bit here. They kind of cast away one of the characters they completely left out, minus, like, one word, basically. Bill.
I know.
They just don't give a fuck about Bill in the movie. It's just, they get where they are, and they're like, oh, can't bring a horse. Bye, Bill. And Sam's like, bye, Bill. They fucking let the horse go.
I know.
Sam was crying.
No, Sam had a weird relationship with that horse. He did a lot of...
It was beautiful.
I know. It's just like, I loved it in the books. It'd be like, Sam said this to Bill. Bill said nothing because he's a horse.
It was awesome.
Like, I didn't need to hear that, but you saying it's fucking hilarious.
It's really funny. Bill was awesome.
Once again, Bill said nothing. He's a horse.
Oh, it was great, dude.
But yeah, so that's how they come into Bill.
Yeah.
And he's a
Excuse me?
little pack. You know what I meant.
We're back with no loads refused here.
But yeah, so yeah, because they did like the whole like burning down because like they saw the Nazgul show up.
Right.
And then they just start their fucking merry little way over to Rivendell. Which, for the most part, there was some knowledge dropping that was dropped by Aragorn, as through their travels. You do still have the scene at, what is that? Amon Sol? Or is that the Watch? What's the Watchtower's technical name? Amon Hen. No, that's where they end. That's the end of the first book. It's got to be Amon Sol. It's got to be. I'm putting marbles on that. Jives? Write that down. I'm putting marbles on it.
Anyway, continue.
That scene itself, pretty much, it wasn't exactly the same. Again, I'm not trying to do that, but it's like, it got its point across very well. Like, Frodo put on the ring. They all look fucking weird. He's like, and they stab him. What they don't tell you about is how long he was stabbed for, and how he even got to Rivendell in, like, the different way.
Yeah.
Because, so... after he gets stabbed, it's like a fucking mad dash. Arwen in the movie shows up to help him. Mm-hmm. I forget the other elf guy's name who finds them, because a bunch of people were sent out. Oh, that's right,
yeah.
A bunch of people were sent out, and he was the one that happened to find them. And Frodo's just sitting there like,
ouch.
I could be better. So at that point, it's like, so Frodo just gets set on the back of his horse. And they still, like, mosey their way down as a group until they get found. And then they don't book it. The guy tells his horse in Elvish to be like, hey, bro, take off. Get over there. Which in the movie, it's just Arwen picks him up, throws him on the back, and they get this whole horse chase. Really fun to watch, but at that point... So Frodo was stabbed for 17 days?
Yes, crazy.
So it's like most people be like, oh yeah, most people would be fucking gone already. And it's like, not only that, no one like actually like, how do you steer? Does it steer a horse? Corral? No, corralling's when you're trying to get them somewhere. What is it? Steering a horse?
I guess guiding.
Maybe.
Veering.
Yeah.
The horse is ajar.
Although I think the Elvish horses are smart and shit, so like the Elvish horse knew where it was going, but it was just him on the horse.
Yeah.
While the Nazgul were trying to fuck his shit up, and he's just like, and he's fucking dying, and he pulls out his own sword, like, come on, fight me.
I didn't hear no bell.
But see, that's what I mean.
Like, that's what because you remember I was freaking out to you about it. I was like, bro, where was this?
It's because they had to make Frodo a little bitch.
What the fuck is going on?
They had to make Frodo a little bitch.
Because he was so awesome in the books, dude. He was. He was just... He did not give a fuck. He was like, I'm dying for this shit,
Yeah,
man.
it's over. I'm going down swinging.
I love it.
But they keep that whole scene with the fucking river coming down and fucking trampling the Nazgul. So at that point, I have like, what is that? No notes. No notes.
No notes.
That whole stanza is like, although it's whatever, it's like putting Arwen there really doesn't change the story.
No.
If anything, they put her there to like bring the Arwen Aragorn story to the front. Because you also didn't have that time in Rivendell to make that story happen.
Right.
Because that's really where you start hearing all about.
Well,
that
I think
jazz.
that's exactly why they did it. Yeah.
So again, that's fine. It's like because at some point it's like, I forget the guy's name, but like you don't see him again, so it's not like he's not an unimportant character. It's just like the role itself could have been done by anyone.
Yeah, it wasn't like a huge thing. It was more of an event that needed to happen.
Yes.
It just didn't. I mean, one person mattered.
We missed the whole part where the Sam, Frodo, and Pippin ran into the elves and had like a little like night with them.
Oh yeah.
I forget the guy's name.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There was so much.
Yeah, that's so
like charismatic, whimsical moments in the book that were. It was just so enjoyable to listen to because, in a weird way, in moments like that, it actually really felt like it put you at like the fire, and you were sitting there listening to them talk. Which I think is just it goes to show how good the writing is.
Two things, so well written, and Andy Serkis reads so
amazingly.
So we missed that part, but yeah, again, there's just a lot that goes on in the book that like, it's magical. It's quite magical. But at that point, that puts us in Rivendell.
Mm-hmm. Which is awesome.
It is. It's a really cool place.
Beautiful.
They're there a lot longer in the book. A lot.
Like really long, actually.
But at that point, so you see Bilbo, but you get to see Bilbo's relationship with everyone else that's there.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. Because then you go like, what is it? His whole thing with Strider. So Strider's this badass, and Bilbo's just like yelling at him, like, "Help me write the song, dude."
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, "You know what? He didn't even help me." when he like finally sang, he was like, "Can you even tell what he did?"
I loved in the book when he was like, "It's kind of long," and it was long, and they were like, "Sing it again." He's like, "No, I don't want to."
No, but she had that whole little like fun little stanza with like everyone. So, but again, it's like you can't really put that in a movie. You can't because there's not enough time, and it didn't hold enough value to have.
At that time, yeah, you're just paying more like homage to the books and trying to do fanfare, I think, than actually like making moments that can attach to the audience.
Yeah,
like the general audience for what this is.
Like, because in the movie you have Frodo like wakes up and he sees Gandalf. He's like, "Gandalf, where have you been?" And he's like, "I was delayed.
I was smoking so much pipe weed, it was crazy.
I was riding an eagle. It was super high. I was super high."
Dude, I know pipe weed. Pipe weed's like my favorite thing in the books too, because I can't tell if it's supposed to demonstrate more tobacco or actual weed, and I just choose to believe it's actual weed because I love the idea.
To be weed.
Yeah, because I love the idea of the wizards just getting high as shit all the time, and it's why they
What
have
do you
powers.
think they come up with magic spells, dude?
I know, that's what I'm saying. It just makes it that much funnier.
Yeah, because in the movie, everything's like, Frodo wakes up, sees Gandalf. It's like, oh, time for the council. Get up your ass.
Yeah.
But I feel like there was a long time in between him just waking up, going through that. Then they had the council, which wasn't as, like, what's the word? It wasn't as finished as they did it in the movie. Because they had the whole meeting. Hey, first of all, Bilbo was there, and he was crushing it.
Mm.
Boy, Bilbo just knows how to fuck. They have the whole meeting, and everyone's there. You have Boromir introduced to Aragorn as the heir to the throne. And Boromir wasn't... In the movie, he's like, "Yeah, that's bullshit. No, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
There's no king for Gondor. We don't need it. We got a steward, and he's my dad."
He's my daddy.
Yeah. In the book, he's just kind of like, "Really? Oh.
Is that what that big old penis is for?
Yeah.
With a vein in it. It all
Um,
makes sense now.
so it's like one of those things. Like the character of Boromir was kind of very different in that aspect. But I think that was just adds a little bit of tension because you have Aragorn not wanting it, and then Boromir being like, "Yeah, don't do this, pussy." You know what I mean? And then think the one thing they did change, which again I don't think is talked about like enough. So Boromir does have his little spiel where he's just like, "The men of Gondor are keeping everyone safe by we're all dying, we're all fighting, we're all dying," and everyone's just like, "You can believe that, but believe it or not, we're all in the shit too, brother." But see, it's never said to him, and it's never said to the audience in the movie. So everyone's just like, all right, so what is everyone else doing? Why can't they help in this war?
Right.
Unbeknownst to them, everyone else is busy with the same problem.
Yep.
So it's just like, okay. Like, although, yes, Boromir, like, in the beginning, full-heartedly just thought it was just his men dying for everything.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's in the shit. And that didn't get explained enough. And it just causes people to be like, well, why didn't they do this? And it's like, well, shut up, Karen. You need to know some ball.
Just to drop a quick parallel, that's interesting, and I think it's part of this. Not that Tolkien invented a lot of these ideologies and these problems, like we've seen these in a bunch of stories before, right? But like, that makes me just think of Project Hail Mary about how astrophage is affecting every single like galaxy basically in the Milky Way, except for one, really, which that's the whole narrative behind it. But kind of like how humanity's like, oh, we're screwed. We need to go figure this out because we have no idea what else exists out there. When in reality, everything else is dying too.
Yeah. And if you're not told that, you're just kind of just like, well, this is stupid. Why are only the men fighting? And then one elf and one dwarf.
Yeah.
Like, what is this shit? No, everyone else was very much busy. But it was also just to show, like, even Boromir as a character is very proud.
Oh, yeah.
And
stewardess, if you will.
no, he's not a flight attendant.
Not yet.
Oh, I'm Boromir.
Wait till he puts on that outfit.
Boromir, son of Denethor. Would you like a Diet Coke? But at that point, I think, so what? They end up, I think all that's ended up decided is Frodo's going to take the ring there.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Gandalf, but he was like, I don't know the way. And then Gandalf was like, I'm going to help you, boy. Don't you worry. And then everyone's just like, okay.
That works.
That's good. And
That'll play.
It's like, all right, it's like, oh, we got to wait a while. We're going to send out people.
Scouts
to, like,
and all that, yeah.
And they wait till, like, winter. And that's when he walks out and is like, oh, we're all joining you, by the way.
Yeah.
And this is where that iconic line is like, Sam's talking to Bill, and it's like, Bill says nothing because he's a horse. And then at that point, what is it? Again, because, you know, we had to change Aragorn's character all the way through. He leaves with the reforged sword of Narsil, now called, I know this. It starts with an A.
Mm-hmm.
Anduin.
Yeah.
Flame of the West.
Mm-hmm.
Now, which is, like, it's fine because you also have the badass scene in the third movie where Elrond just whips it out.
Oh, bro.
Anduin, the Flame of the West, forged from the swords of Narsil. You're just like, oh, this kind of sucks.
Oh, God.
No, so he leaves with that sword. That's his sword for the rest of life. Because, again, he wanted to be king. He wasn't, like, fucking smug about it, but he was like, I'm the king, this is my sword, and I'm going to fight with it.
That's fucking awesome. That was pretty good.
Thank you. I've been practicing.
I could see. So I wanted to.
Yeah, speak your piece. I've been talking a lot.
Dude,
this
well,
is not the
That's
norm.
part of why we're doing this, because I want you to go crazy on this shit. Because you love this shit. And now I love this shit. I'm getting into loving this shit.
Hell yeah.
But another thing I couldn't exactly recall from the book, kind of like where it was wrapping up, and it's like, oh, Frodo, or at least in the movie, we'll start off with that. Frodo's like, I'll do it. And then fucking Sam comes out, he's like, no, I'm coming too. And then Merry and Pippin also come out and say, I'm coming too. wasn't it only Sam that did that in the book? Where he's
I
like,
believe so. I believe it was
It was
just
just
Sam,
Sam, right?
Because Merry and Pippin make a comment about it when they're all leaving,
yes.
I believe. I guess the only other thing of note is when Frodo went to say he'd take the ring, instead of it being like a mosh of yelling at each other, it was just quiet.
Yeah, yeah.
And he whispered it. He's like, I'll take it. He's like, fuck. I'll take it, I
I'll
guess.
fucking take it. I'll just
We
fucking,
have- we
I'll
have-
fucking do everything for you fucking
We have the
guys.
future
I don't
king
care.
of Gondor here,
Yeah.
but I'll take the ring.
I guess I'll fucking do everything all the time.
We
I
have,
guess I fucking
we
do.
have one of the wisest wizards and one of the wisest elves, and I'll take
But
it.
no, they can't take it because they're too gluttonous and greedy.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I'd be too powerful. I
oh,
couldn't
I'll
contain
be too
myself.
wonderful. I'll be too terribly amazing. It'll corrupt me and my brain into doing too much good. People will no longer have to eat. They'll just be beautiful for forever. I can't do it. I always thought that it made sense as to why with like, and that's how you get around the whole thing where it's like you have the classic like, okay, why not just give it to like the most powerful good guy and they go do it? Why not have the Eagles just go pick him up and fly in? There is a counter to every single thing in the story. To me, it's airtight because the Eagles thing is bullshit. But we'll get to that
Yeah.
later because that's not even prominent now.
But yeah, as far as we truly know, the only person, actually, technically, I think it's technically two. I'll have to reconfirm once I re-listen to the third book. But Tom Bombadil is the only one
Yes.
that has put on the ring and also given it up willingly, like without any hesitation.
Yeah.
I think there is someone else. I can't recall. I have to wait till I
Treebeard.
Maybe. Can you imagine him with the one ring, just like,
Just turns invisible.
no. Well, the ring doesn't technically turn people invisible.
Right. You go into like the different like thing, whatever it's called.
So it's like, whatever. That's like the technical thing that I don't even fully understand.
And we'll get to that because I have questions when we get to the third book. But
Oh
anyway,
boy, I'll have to make sure I have all the answers.
Because.
But
Anyway, okay, so we're leaving. We're leaving
Rivendell.
Bye, Rivendell.
I mean, at this point, you have in the movie, you have one of the most epic montages with some of the most epic music of just them climbing mountains and just like zooming in and out, which essentially like their travels up until the mountain are not necessarily noteworthy. Like, yeah, I think they have that. I know for sure one quarrel with like, they don't even technically know what. I think it's hinted at like werewolf-esque kind of.
Yeah, it was wolves.
They have that one big quarrel, but after that it was really nothing. They mentioned the birds from Isengard, so that's why they took the path. The path itself, once they actually get up there, is a lot more detailed from what they do. I don't think they necessarily ever hint at saying that Sauron's the one actually causing the fucking storm. I think Gimli made a comment about it. It's like someone's trying to blah 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 us. But eventually, yeah, they turn around, and they have this whole like scene where it's like Aragorn and Boromir just fucking throwing themselves through the snow, and like just standing on top, like, oh, look at me. I'm like have no weight. I'm an elf.
I'm wonderful. And
Yeah.
perfect in
Ooh,
every
look
way.
at me.
And I'm Orlando Bloom.
Yeah. I stand on top of the snow, you stupid nerds. Why are you sinking? But essentially, not noteworthy at the end of the day. It really isn't.
You can definitely cut that out. Like that made sense to me.
This is what the weird thing was. They had Gimli suggest going to Moria, even though seemed like it was common knowledge that everyone knew Moria was kind of not the place to go.
Oh yeah.
It was a
he's
thing.
like, oh, my brother lives there, or my cousin, or
It
whatever.
was a suggestion that Aragorn had with Gandalf quietly.
Yes.
And once Boromir got wind of it, he's like, guys, that is the stupidest thing we can fucking
do that.
No.
Bad stuff happens in there.
Yeah.
But that's basically, I'm telling you, it's the same shit every time. Someone goes, it's not good to go there. And it wasn't good to go there.
No.
But it worked out, you know?
So that I thought that was weird, but again, they didn't show the relationship Aragorn and Gandalf just had, so it's not like it would have been more weird to show them having these one-on-ones without like having the knowledge that like, oh, these guys are kind of like boys, you know? They're like they kind of go out and do shit together, like find shit, look for Schmeagol / Gollum.
Smeag.
Yeah.
Classic Smeag.
But I think that pulled into Gimli being super pro dwarf. He's like, let's go to the mines, dude. Yeah. Let's just like,
I'm a dwarf.
Dude,
I like live that shit,
dude.
Bro.
Ballin', he's ballin'.
He's balling, bro.
So let's like go there.
Yeah.
And I think they still leave it up to Frodo, don't they?
Yeah, I think so. I think
regardless of movie book, they still leave it up to Frodo. And he chooses there. They all go there. They do have the same problem with the door. And they also get attacked by the Watcher, the thing in the pond.
Yeah. That thing was fucking awesome. So
now,
cool.
I don't think there was... Well, I think, because it was like... It wasn't common knowledge that Moria was kind of like a fucking no-go. Like, the reaction of them first getting into Moria and seeing all the dwarves dead, I don't even know if that happened in the book. I know they, like, talk about stuff.
I thought it was more so just, like, it was pitch black in there.
Yeah.
And Gandalf made, like, the light, but they could barely see.
Yeah.
And it kind of fumbled their way into, like, the chamber where, like, the coffin or whatever it was.
Yeah, eventually they get there. Like, you get, I think even before that, you get, like, a nice-ass song from Gimli about, like, I guess, essentially the good old days there. Yeah.
I loved... the way it was described in the book too, about, I don't remember the words exactly, but like, once again, creating the setting of like the actual architecture of this place too.
No,
and how, like, I forget something about it, like it looked like it was coming to a peak with like these crazy ledges and things that were built and these buttresses and stuff. It just really, really cool stuff, man. So easy to digest and picture in your head while listening to it.
And also the fact that it was also totally unnecessary to actually have to do that.
Yeah.
He was just like, we got to let the people know what's up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think at that point they do come to that whole like stanza where Gandalf's like, I don't remember where to go.
Yeah.
So they chill out for a while and they go the right way. They eventually find themselves at Balin's tomb, and I think it was technically some type of library or something. Technically, I think. But that's also when they find the book. And then they're reading the book, blah, 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 blah. Because I think, actually, prior to this, they were hearing periodic drums in the book.
Yeah, because you were hearing, like, the doom, doom.
Yeah.
Doom, doom.
So that was already present. And eventually, they do have that whole scene where they fight in the, in Balin's tomb, essentially.
And try to escape through, like, that stairwell.
Yeah, they escape out the back.
Yeah.
Instead of actually slaying everything and moving. They do run out, like, a back entrance. And Gandalf tries to seal the door. And he's like, I don't know what happened, but I just, like, kind of blew away. Very strange. And then they're just fucking booking it. And this is the thing me and you talked about on the side. Once the Balrog finally shows up and you have fucking Gimli and Legolas just freaking the fuck out. And then Boromir's like, fuck this. And he blows his horn, and everything just stops for a second. Everyone's just like, what?
It was like a Mog check.
Yeah. I think that was really cool. That would have been really cool to see.
Yes, just absolutely. Because we only really saw the horn once, right?
Because you only see it at the end.
Yeah.
It would have been really cool because you could have done a similar thing. So in the movie, they kind of have that low and growl that comes around the corner. You could have done when they were fully surrounded, and like you kind of quasi saw the light coming through. You just have like fucking Boromir just blow the fucking horn, have all the fucking goblins stop, and then like have maybe the fucking light pause or something, unless you want to end up showing the Balrog. But like it would have just been really cool to just have that in there, because fucking Boromir kind of fucked too, you know?
Oh yeah.
It was just like, I think the way they described him when he was moving the snow was hilarious. It's like, I didn't realize how tall and strong he was. Oh my god!
His arms are so vast.
It's like the size of a hobbit.
No, they definitely made him like Turbo Chad, like
Oh,
awesome.
yeah, that
And
guy-
he was in the movie too. He was.
Um,
But the Bullrog scene is.
I mean,
God,
it was still fucking cool
It's
as
the
shit.
most arguably iconic in the entire thing in terms of internet culture and stuff like that. Because the "you cannot pass" and then the "you shall not pass."
and then, and also the music for that whole chase.
Oh, dude,
Absolute cinema.
So
and then
good.
it ends with the fucking, like, kind of, like, crying. And you're just like, new. Clifford, new.
And it was nice too, though, in the movie with Aragorn just being like, "We just got to keep fucking moving, man."
Well, yeah, because they did.
They did, yeah.
They did have to keep moving.
And it was just like everybody was like dying, basically, just so upset. And
Yeah.
he's like, "We have no time for this shit. We will weep later."
Yeah. Which kind of just leads them to Lothlorien.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
Lady Galadriel.
I guess we also missed. They were hinting at Gandalf never tells Frodo that Smeagol's following them, whether Gandalf knew or not in the book. It was never mentioned.
Yes.
It was just always mentioned that Frodo would be like, I hear footsteps as if they're an echo, but we stop and they take a second to stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's like odd. So yeah, when they get to Lothlorien, they eventually get jumped by the elves. The elves will go like, there's a band of orcs running around. Hide in the trees with us. So they go and like sleep in the trees. And then, like,
that was a really cool scene because
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's what you're talking about.
because
Sorry.
then, like, some random reason, like, Frodo gets up and he just looks over the edge and he just sees fucking glowing eyes. And he's like, is this the boogeyman? And then the other elf shows up and he's like, something was on your tree. He's like, I know. But up until that, I mean, that was cool to have. Again, all of this would have been really cool to have, but you can see why it was technically unnecessary.
Yeah, it's not like it wasn't 100%.
Now-
Especially when you're fucking struggling for time already.
Yeah,
in
so it's
4
like-
hours. You know.
You have the scene where they get to the elves. The elves take them, and then the elves just take them there. Obviously, in the book, it's a little more of like a political thing. Not political, but like they have some rules they need to follow. They're like, well, you guys, I guess, can come, but we gotta blindfold you guys, or at least the dwarf. And then everyone's just like, excuse me, and it's like Aragorn's like, we'll all get blindfolded.
Yeah.
Whatever. Gimli, you're a bitch. Now we all can't see.
Honey, order everybody something from the dollar menu. We'll keep it moving.
Yeah, so they do that. Eventually, then they're just like, oh, you know what? We'll take off your blindfolds. Your friend's here. And they're like, okay.
Oh, I can see.
It's so beautiful. And at that point, I think they have, like, once it was really funny when they finally exclaimed that when Gandalf fell fighting the Bullrog, like, all the elves there were just, like, weeping.
Yeah.
In, like, song. It's just something really funny to me, which is not the correct word to have, but it's just like they're all just like, ah, and it's just like, wow, Gandalf knew ball.
Bro had motion.
Yeah. I did like how they kept the whole scene where, like, Galadriel got into everyone's head too prior to like talking to her.
What a great character.
Oh
my god,
so
one of my
good.
favorite. One of my favorite. Absolutely.
So graceful. Just unbelievably graceful. I get Gimli, you know?
Oh yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Listen, he's already got the axe. He's just trying to swing that tree down, get to
And
his
yeah.
height. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, Gimli climbed a mountain. He'll do it again.
He'll do it again.
Going
to Mount Poon instead.
But yeah, they did keep the scene where the water thing that you look into.
The Ballandir.
Oh, so it's not the water thing, the ball thing.
No,
The
no,
Palantir-
I'm wrong. That's you're right. That's the ball thing.
The Palantir is the ball thing.
Yes, I forget what the well of water.
Well of wisdom.
My favorite quote, and I need to remember it, is how they described it because it is the funniest way to describe anything ever.
Oh, I forget that.
Because it was like, it will show you the beginning of the end of tomorrow that
Oh,
will
yeah,
never
it's like-
come and be when there is that. And you're just like, what?
But it's also one of those things. Sam was there and he looked into it too.
Yes, yes.
So it's like, but again, it was more so they show you the scouring of the Shire, which, fun fact, in the movies you never see.
Yeah.
So they hint at that. That was like your little gimme. And then after that, you move to the gifts, and what? I'm trying to remember everyone's exact gifts. Because what? Aragorn got a special sheath for the sword. Legolas did get the bow like he did in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Merry and Pippin didn't actually get daggers, did they? I don't think they did. I forget.
Hold on.
I forget. We'll look.
See if I can find something here.
Jarvis, fact check. Boromir got like a fancy belt. I know at least that was part of it. Sam in the movies got rope, but in the book he got soil.
They got the silver belts.
A Merry and Pippin.
Yes.
Okay. So then they got belts instead of daggers.
'Cause it's like the clasp that they got for like the clothing or the cloak.
So, and then Sam got soil, which I think is far more suiting for his character.
Yes.
And we'll eventually get to that. I don't know why they changed that. It would have been really cool to give him soil, especially since you're graded to him as a gardener.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first scene you see of Sam is when Bilbo's talking about hobbits. Hobbits. And it's like all hobbits share a thing for things that grow, and it's just Sam holding a flower.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you see about Sam in the movies. But then they give him rope when they could have gave him soil. But whatever. I digress.
Oh, that's right, because they technically, I mean, when the rope is dealt with and whatever, that was more so, like that was just something I stole.
Because it wasn't even so
Right?
much no,
Or he
it was
just
just
took it
part
or
of the
something.
supplies.
Yeah, oh, that's
They
right.
were
I saw
just
the
they
small
just
stuff.
gave them rope as supplies.
Yes.
Because this is a good supply to have.
Yeah.
God forbid you have rope. So I think that's a miss. We'll get into that once we talk about the third movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Because gardening is such a pivotal point of his character.
Yes. It's huge.
And
That
it's just
cooking
like
is like everything.
So, but like, why'd you? Whatever. So, and then Frodo still gets the same gift. I'm not gonna. Is it the Light of Elendil?
I think that's right.
That sounds right.
It might have had a.
I think at least it starts the same as that, but I don't know if it's, or it might be. It might just be exactly that. There's so much to remember. Brain hurts.
Yes, the Starlight of Arendelle.
Arendelle?
Captured inside the Phial of Galadriel.
Yes.
Preserved light of the two trees of Valinor.
Yeah, so he gets the same gift.
Yeah.
So I still don't understand, like, out of changing everyone's gifts, because you pretty much changed everyone's gifts except for a couple, like, why change Sam's? It wouldn't hurt the movie to fucking not give him rope. But you also didn't go into any type of... Wait till the third movie.
This just popped in my head. Just a tiny little backtrack, kind of like a double. Back in when Bilbo gave him Sting and
the Mithril.
And the Mithril. And then I love that because I thought that was a really interesting part in the movie and the book when Frodo gets fucking...
Oh, he gets fucking beamed.
Literally. Dude gets skewered.
Yeah.
And you're just like, no.
Oh.
No. But then he didn't because of the Mithril.
Yeah, well, see, can we talk about that for a second? That thing has to have the best, like, distribution of force
Oh, yeah.
known to man. Because, like, what? In the book, he gets, like, a spear, like, thrown at him.
Yeah.
Right? If I remember that correctly?
Yes, I believe you're correct.
In the movie, he gets stabbed by a troll.
Yeah, like...
Listen,
and
even
it just goes bonk.
even if, like...
They kept
it
the
didn't-
same lines right
Yeah,
from
it's
there,
like
too.
something about
"Just
something about
skewed you as a
wild-
wild
yeah.
boar. Yeah.
Yeah. Regardless, if something were to, like, not pierce chainmail, but have enough force to, like, push it in, the chainmail would hold up, but it'd also be inside me.
Right.
Because my body wouldn't hold up to that.
But it's Mithril.
That's what I mean. It's got to have the best distribution of force.
So Mithril is also in RuneScape. I always
But
thought
it's
it was
also-
called Mithril. And it's mid as fuck.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy. Why is that shit not goated?
Because you're not wearing the chainmail one.
I'm not wearing the chainmail.
You gotta. Like, you can't wear plate.
I need to buy chainmail, man.
Well, you
Chainmail man. Holy shit.
you start riding a horse. Be more reliable than the
People
car.
do that.
All right, but then
Sorry.
they did keep Gimli. Ended up starting with not wanting any gift, and then he
And then
goes
you
into
get all
the most
horny.
eloquent way to ask for women's hair,
Yeah.
and you're just like, damn.
Damn, babe. Carbon match drapes. Give me evidence.
Yeah.
And she said, "How about this? I'll give you 3 from 3 different spots."
But then it was the fact that in the book there's just like the elves like audibly gasped,
Yeah.
and it was because obviously that's a weird request, but like in the book it was just like okay whatever, in the movie it was okay whatever, and then because in the book Galadriel was like, I can't even be mad because I asked him,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what? Who would I be if I didn't honor
Yeah.
this? Here's 3 hairs. And fucking
Keep the change.
I just love how just like from there on out, no one was allowed to talk shit about her.
Oh, it was one
At
of my
all.
favorite parts of the book.
I know. Someone just be like, "The Thor, you shut the fuck up."
Yep. I'll cleave your head in twain. You use that tongue again.
I like that. I feel like I wish they had it closer to the book because the book really did it like. They made it a big deal in the book. In the movie, it was like. Yeah, because in the movie, all it was the one scene, and then it was like.
It really
Legolas.
felt like, to me, in the movie, it was way more about just the peace offering between the two races than
Yeah.
anything. Like, I think in the book, it did feel stronger than that. I think in different aspects, too.
Even in a sense, although they don't bring up the gift, I don't even know if they bring up the gift again, essentially.
I don't think they do.
But the appreciation is shown throughout the rest of the book.
Yes. Like, there's a theme that is kind of honored throughout it.
Like nowhere else do they really mention Lothlorien again.
Yeah.
After they leave.
The golden trees.
Yeah, but then they're given boats, and now they can set sail.
And the boats are beasts, dude. They're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So cool. Because they're like,
Oh,
dude,
actually,
just take
they-
him to a fucking waterfall, bro.
they
You'll
were
be fine.
They were given boats, and then they met up. But regardless,
Right. For a
Um,
feast.
and then essentially it's them setting sail, trying to figure out where the fuck they want to go. I don't even know if they didn't have as much as it. No, they had the route in their mind in the movie, because when they finally got to the shore where they were like, we're gonna cross at night, and then Gimli's like, well, we're gonna do this and then this and then this, and after that it gets even better. And everyone's like, yeah, that's where we're going, dude. Like, so they had their route planned. There was no qualm about the route.
Yeah, yeah.
But given how much time it took them to get down there, it was just one of those things, just like, which way are we going, dude? Like, we got to figure this out. Aragorn's kind of torn. He's like, I feel like I'm a terrible decision maker. Like, what is going on? We got to make a good decision. And you got Boromir here being like, to the White City!
Yeah.
We must go! And no one else really has any voiced opinions besides Aragorn just trying to figure it out, and Boromir being like, we got to go here, guys.
Mm-hmm.
There's people here. They can help us.
Mm-hmm.
And then once again, this hints at, like, the Smeagol following them, because Sam's like, I could have sworn that log was moving. But I can't tell. It's crazy.
It's pretty
And so they just have that hint of that just kind of going down the river.
good. Right.
They eventually get to the spot where they're like, we need to pick, and of course they go like, Frodo, pick for us. We're little babies. Please pick. You bear the ring. You make the decisions here. So that's where you go. That's where that whole like, just give me a minute, and he just goes off, and does his thing. And that's where you have the scene where Boromir comes up and he's like, it starts off. In the book, it starts off a little more tame than in the movie, because the movie really heats up pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah, it definitely builds up more.
But the ending is very much the same, where it's just like,
Well, I
Like-
think one of the best acted parts
Oh,
of
dude.
the entire movies. Yeah, and I also just want to add on a really nice touch I thought they had in both was kind of like his eyes as Frodo was going to leave, being like following him more intensely. I think in the book, talking about like Frodo kind of separating himself and being like, I need to go for a walk or whatever it was, and it was very specifically like Boromir staring him down, watching him leave.
Yeah.
And he was like, it was this idea not of that Boromir was going to do something necessarily bad, because could it have been concern, like because he feels like he's right
Yeah,
and
well,
he needs
so
to convince
the
him to
thing
go.
that
you know?
the movie hinted, not it didn't even hint at properly, because in the book I don't think necessarily Boromir was super overcome by the ring, because in the movie it's very much like hinted
Yes.
at like
Oh, it's a lot
all
more on the
all
nose.
he wants is like, I want this ring, baby. It's
Yeah.
gonna help me save my city.
Rick and Morty,
Which, again,
100
it's like,
episodes.
you
Give me
get-
the ring.
Yeah, the one ring.
TheRing.com.
It's very much like this is his emotion, this is how he feels, but that's also because they had to make the ring very corrupting. Once they introduced that idea, like the ring corrupts all, hey, that's why you can't show Tom Bombadil,
Yes.
because you're gonna show this really corrupting thing, and then like a couple scenes later, you're gonna show this guy who's just like,
Well, that's.
this is a nice ring, have it
I,
back.
I was gonna bring this up too later, just as we came to like the full close of the first movie, but that is, to me, the obvious reason why they chose to make Frodo the way they did, because
It had to show its weight somehow.
yes, and the weight that he bears from the get go is almost as how it's talked about in the books later when they're closer to Mordor.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Like
No,
he's
yeah.
in the movie, you could just tell instantly. It's like it's this constant battle of all he can think about is the ring. It's not even about the journey.
Yeah.
It's just kind of walking.
it's
the
consumed
entire
him.
time.
But I
Yeah.
will say, in the book, you really didn't see. I'm trying to make sure I'm just trying to double check with myself, but regardless, I can't fully remember. I don't think Boromir like really ever hinted at like being tempted really by the ring. First off, he was led initially by the fact that he's like, we should go here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to be fair, the ring itself is a tempting thing, and Boromir, being a very proud, passionate person about his city, very open to temptation.
Yes.
So the thing just existing around him is very tempting for him, because even though his thoughts are pure of heart, that's what they're showing. The ring is corrupting the best part of you and turning it bad.
Yes.
Because now something that Boromir probably would never really normally do, he's now fucking going after someone because they're not agreeing with him, essentially.
Which is why it is just such a money plot point in the fucking movie and the book.
Yeah.
It had to be him, and you weren't necessarily, when Boromir was introduced, like, oh, this guy's gonna do some fuck shit, but just the fact that it was him, you're kind of like, it makes sense, but it hurts. Like,
Yes.
this sucks.
Yeah.
This shouldn't happen. This fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And I think that is excellent writing when something like that happens. When you're like, no, this shouldn't be the reality of the situation.
No, and I think I don't no, see that's why. So Frodo still at that point. Once that happened, that's when he decided. Because even in his mind, he was like, "All right, Boromir wouldn't be doing this. This is the ring's fault. I gotta get this away from everyone. Otherwise, we're all gonna be fucked."
Mm-hmm.
So he like knew. Although it's like, yeah, Boromir's doing this. It's not of his normalcy to be this kind of person.
Yes.
But he's just like, that's why I'm going this way. I'm doing it alone. I can't have anyone here because they're going to be like, gimme, gimme, gimme. And the next thing you know, all 9 of us are going to be fighting each other. But he does have the point where he like runs away. He gets to, I think this is Amon Hen, when he's standing on top of the place and he's looking out at everything. This is the part I wish they would have had instead of like seeing
Yes.
the eye and shit.
Mm-hmm.
He looks out on
Totally
everything
agree.
and he's like, I see the goblins on the mountains. I see the elves in the forest. They're all fighting shit. Like that would have gave you the whole world picture. Be like, shit's fucked up right
Yeah,
now.
the
That would have
perspective
been
on everything.
That would have been perfect to just put in there.
But it's probably
um,
cheaper to just put Sauron's eye
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that would have gave a better grasp of the situation to
For
see
sure.
how like, oh, this is bad.
Yeah.
But then in the movie, I think they still do run and try to find Frodo because they're at some point. They don't get Boromir back. In the book, Boromir comes back and be like,
I was very upset about that. I don't like that change. I loved in the book how he like went down like a wounded dog, basically, to be like, guys, I fucked up.
yeah. So I don't even know what spurred. I forget what spurred them to be like, oh, we got to go find Frodo. Or no, I think it was like, I don't even know if anything was truly spurred. It was
No, wasn't it Boromir being like, or are you talking about in the movie?
in the movie.
Oh, in the movie.
In the movie, I know it was just like, I think someone asked about Frodo, and I think they just have it pan off to Boromir's shield.
Yeah, I think
It's
that's
Aragorn looking at Boromir's shield.
Yeah.
And the next thing, once Frodo takes off the ring, Aragorn's like right there. And then Aragorn's like, where is the ring? And he's just like, get away from me, harlot.
Yeah.
That's where you have that like nice little simple emotional scene where Aragorn realizes that Frodo's leaving by himself, and Aragorn knows that this is the right decision. And he's like, I would have followed you to the end, even to the fires of Mordor. And he's like, I know you will. Look after everyone, especially Sam. He won't understand. And then he fucking looks down at the Frodo's sheath, and it's glowing blue. And he's like, Frodo, run. And he pulls out his sword, which should be Anduil. Anduil? And I keep fucking up this.
I don't think like that was bad at all.
No, it's not bad, but it's just like it
dude,
should
the book,
be.
It was so perfect. It was so perfectly done. I don't know. I don't think changing that would have realistically made that much of a difference, unless you're looking at maybe down the road, in the third book when we get into the steward, if you will,
The steward of
and that-
Gondor.
and how they changed him as well.
The
But
misunderstood character.
I just
they really did that family kind of dirty.
they did.
They really did. They
They
did
really did.
everyone dirty in that.
Yes.
Um,
But I think it was still great. Obviously, like it works. It's not like it didn't make any sense. I did not understand changing that entire thing. I thought them scattering and immediately going to like this crazy fear and yelling and attracting all the orcs to them. I thought was a kind of a brilliant thing because it led to Boromir saving. Was it Merry or Pippin or both together?
no, it was Merry and Pippin.
It
They
was
were, they
both-
were
they
still
both
together.
and then him saving them, but
Also dying.
dying, and then them not technically being fully saved. Cause
Yeah, I do love
It's awesome.
because like right when Aragorn tells him to run, and Aragorn's just staring down this group of Uruk-hai, and he just fucking starts wanting them up, and just
Yeah.
like blah blah blah, and he fucking fights his way up some steps. And then he just fucking screams Elendil, because that's what he likes to do. That's his thing. I'm glad they
it's like
did.
a Pokemon.
Yeah, I do like that they at least kept at least him saying that once,
Yeah,
because he says it a lot.
he does.
Because that's his war cry.
Yeah.
But then yes, obviously you have the miss part where, although Sam is considered the dumb one, like, Aragorn was trying to run with Sam, but Sam can't run as fast as Aragorn for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes, "Stink, Samwise, stink!" And I just picture him punching himself
Yes.
in the fucking
No,
head.
100%. Yes.
And then he finds his way back to the boats to find Frodo.
I loved how it was in the book, dude. It was so funny. They made it not funny. It was so funny. It's like they said it. I forget exactly how he wrote it. where
Missed
he
it
was
by
like,
a yard.
No, literally, he was like, the boat is really far away in this running river, and Sam just goes for it anyway.
Yeah.
It's not him, like, because they made it in the movie seem like he's like, if you're not going to take me, I'm going to kill myself and drown.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
You're
In
my
this,
13th
He's like,
reason.
I'm going to make this jump. And he just misses it so badly.
Yeah. But definitely, I think it was okay that they pulled the emotional pull.
Sure, yeah. I have no problem with it. I just thought it was really funny. That was one of the really fun parts of the book. Because, again, specifically Fellowship 2 is the most fun written. You could tell that was truly the first, only because it was very whimsical. It very much was theatrical in how it was written,
Yeah.
more so than the other.
Well, because that's the
books.
thing. So, technically, at the end of the first book, Boromir's still alive. Technically. he dies in he's like the first chapter of the second book.
Yeah.
So as far as that goes, I mean, they didn't. The fight itself wasn't explained in the book. It was just like Aragorn showed up after hearing the trumpet player for however long, and just like fucking bodies everywhere, and Boromir just up against a tree, just fucking shot full of arrows. Still very sad, somber scene.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely changed up some dialogue because they had to because of the way they did characters. Like you did have Boromir still made the confession to Aragorn.
That part was so fucking awesome, dude.
But I also think it was also the same where I think one of the I know I can for sure in the movies his first words to Aragorn as Aragorn runs up to him is like they took the little ones. I want to say in the book I almost think that's the same. I'd have to double check that. But I think he does bring up the fact even though he's dying he's like, dude, they took the little ones. So it's just like he was still a good man, goddammit.
Yeah.
And I will stand by that.
No, and I think that's what makes the complexity of the ring just so awesome. Just even in that very minor moment, just being able to twist his emotions, not only into wanting to take him, but like really fucking everything up.
Yeah.
Because that's just ultimately what it came down to.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, God, you think about it. If that doesn't happen, and Frodo comes back with a decision or something, and then they get swarmed by all the Uruks, do they just kill them all, and they're fine? And they could just keep going on their merry way? How much does that change the journey?
I mean, I would say if they were all as a team, they'd probably find a way to get away. At the very least, because if they were all together still on the shore, they probably might have never even been found.
Yeah.
And if they got like whiff
They could
of
have
it,
been in the boats going down at that point.
Because I believe, especially because most of them are like a couple days old, they're not very good at shooting bows and arrows.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just like, they have big bows and big arrows. That's kind of their thing. They just get real close and then fucking Mike Tyson you. That's also really the fact why I respect Boromir. He basically got fucking Mike Tyson full power punched multiple times. But it was Mike Tyson. But it was Mike Tyson punch, but also piercing you.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like it really sucked.
I didn't hear no bell.
And he was just like, I still killed a bunch of you pussies.
Yeah, man. He was a dog. He's a great character, man.
No, he was. I did like, because I think this is so you had Aragorn, the unwilling protagonist, and Boromir being like that fucking anti-king guy. But you have the recognition at the end in the movie where he's like, I would have followed you, my brother, my captain, my king, and everyone's just like, no, why did you say that? But I think that the way having Boromir recognize him for that, I think propels Aragorn's character forward.
Yes.
In the movie.
I agree.
Because I think actually once they have their little ceremony for Boromir where they send him off in the boat in the movie, I believe Aragorn's wearing the braciers, whatever. What are the armor versions of wrists called?
I think you're right. I think it's like braces.
Yeah, so he's wearing Boromir's braces.
I genuinely didn't even notice that.
It's like no one says it, but all of a sudden you just see Aragorn wearing fucking Gondorian bracers.
Yeah. That's hype, dude.
Yeah.
It's good shit.
The Lord of the Rings, explained by two idiots and a dog.
Anything to say, dog?
Jives, any notes? No notes? Some notes. Oh, boy.
No, not
Listen, I feel
ones.
like think about time-wise, too. We didn't have 20-something hours to talk about it, you know?
Not
we
yet.
missed things.
Oh, yeah. I think it's more so just kind of relishing in
The goodness.
what the experience is.
Well, I don't
right?
know what I missed. I just kept talking. I was just like...
I know, that was the point, brother, because you killed it. But truthfully, it's fun to rehash about a piece of legendary media like this. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of fucked up. It goes both ways, where, like, you think about it, it's like, damn, this shit's really only technically been around for, like, 70 years. But then you're like, holy fuck, it's been around for 70 years. You know what I mean? It's very interesting that way. where it feels like the way it's heralded in media in its totality, like it feels like something that's as big as like the Bible sometimes or a dictionary.
No, it's bigger.
It's fast.
It's bigger. Very big.
And it's so cool to digest it and appreciate it, and then have a more modern version of the media. And obviously, there's a very, very modern form of the media which I haven't watched, and I know you dislike, but we're gonna keep our hopes up for the new movie and the new RPG that's coming out whenever, probably 5 years from now.
We shall see.
But yeah,
Might be
is there
dead
anything
by
else you wanted
then.
to touch on from Fellowship?
That I can recall right now. New? Oh, I guess they do hint at the Nazgul riding those Drake things, because Lego shoots one out of the sky, but that's, again, not an important note at the moment.
Those things are so fucking
I
cool,
know.
bro. Oh my god.
Again, Boromir dies in the beginning of the first book, or second book, so it's like... But it happens in the movie. Which I think is much better off. Could you imagine starting the movie with that scene?
That'd be fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. You know what? I'll do something we don't ever do because we're bad at this. We'll pose the question to the filibusters out there.
The filibusters?
The filibusters. A bit of a filibuster. If there was one thing you could change,
Just one.
not even just about Lord of it could be any piece of media. What would you choose?
And
Tell us
and
down below in
why?
the comments.
And then after you comment, like and maybe subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't really ask that often either.
Well, we don't need to do that because we get like so many every time.
Yeah,
It's
we're
crazy.
just so popular.
Yep. But
No, I think that is the story of the Lord of the Rings told by Busted and Shovel.
I should have memorized the final lines of each book, so I could have just said it and been awesome. Because, dude, every final line in the books is just money. Well, I haven't heard Return of the Kings yet, but they're money.
I think I know which one. I think I know the line of that one. I can't say it though.
No, you can't. Because Fellowship was just cool. Because it was just like they were making their way.
Downtown?
Yeah.
Walking fast?
Do 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 do. See, they should have put Terry Crews in Lord of the Rings. He would have done
He's
so
just
well.
Sam.
All right.
Let's
get out of here. Who are you?
I'm keep on digging, right?
I thought you were busted. My fault.
Well, yeah. So, but yeah, but I'm busted.
I was Shovel.
Stay digging.
Keep on digging. That's what's keeping it beautiful down here.
the metaphors.
Oh, then the
I cracked open my beard. I'm drunk already.